Section 1. The Devil's Triangle, a place of myth and measurement. They say it swallows ships whole and plucks airplanes from the sky. This notorious patch of ocean, loosely stitched between Bermuda, Florida, Puerto Rico, has earned a fearsome reputation as the Bermuda Triangle. It is a place where the laws of physics supposedly take a holiday, replaced by some sinister, unseen force. Stories whispered in hushed tones speak of vessels found crewless, drifting aimlessly, and of final radio calls dissolving into static. The very name conjures images of cosmic portals, sea monsters, or extraterrestrial collectors with a penchant for human technology. It's a fantastic, terrifying narrative, the kind that makes for a gripping late-night documentary. Yet, for every myth, there is a science that seeks to measure, to quantify, and to explain. Science, in its methodical and often less glamorous way, approaches the Bermuda Triangle not as a supernatural vortex, but as a geographical location with specific observable characteristics. It trades ghost stories for meteorological charts, alien abduction theories for geological surveys, and panic speculation for accident investigation reports. Section 2. Weaving the legend, how a patch of ocean became famous. The legend of the Bermuda Triangle was not born overnight. It was carefully woven over time, thread by thread, from a collection of disparate incidents. The narrative truly began to gain traction in the mid-20th century, largely thanks to sensationalist magazine articles and later, best-selling books. An article by Vincent Gaddis in a 1964 issue of Argosy magazine is often credited with coining the term Bermuda Triangle and popularizing the idea that this specific region was uniquely dangerous. He compiled a list of disappearances, linking them together to suggest a mysterious pattern. This act of narrative curation was powerful. It took isolated maritime and aviation tragedies and bundled them into a single, cohesive, and much more frightening story for a public eager for a good mystery. One of the most foundational stories in the Triangle's mythology is the disappearance of Flight 19 in December 1945. A squadron of 5 U.S. Navy Avenger torpedo bombers vanished during a training exercise off the coast of Florida. The flight leader reportedly became disoriented, believing his compasses were malfunctioning, and that they were flying over the Florida Keys when they were actually far out over the Atlantic. The ensuing search and rescue mission was also struck by tragedy when a Martin Mariner flying boat, sent to look for the lost squadron, exploded in midair. This sequence of events provided the perfect dramatic core for the burgeoning legend. Trained military pilots lost, followed by the loss of their rescuers, all without a trace. However, a closer look at the official Navy report reveals a far less paranormal explanation. Section 3. The Scientific Autopsy. Weather, waves, and human frailty. When scientists perform an autopsy on the Bermuda Triangle myth, they find the cause of death is not aliens or time warps, but a combination of 3 potent and entirely terrestrial culprits: extreme weather-challenging oceanography, human error. The region is a veritable factory for violent and unpredictable weather. It sits directly in the path of hurricanes that barrel up from the south, capable of generating waves over 50 feet high and winds exceeding 100 miles per hour. Even outside of hurricane season, the warm waters of the Gulf Stream can clash with cold air fronts, giving birth to sudden ferocious thunderstorms that can appear with little warning, overwhelming smaller vessels and disorienting pilots in a matter of minutes. The unique oceanographic conditions of the area add another layer of complexity and danger. The Gulf Stream, a powerful and fast-moving river within the ocean, flows directly through the triangle. This current can reach speeds of several knots, making navigation tricky and, more importantly, quickly scattering debris from a wreck over a vast area. This makes finding any wreckage a monumental task, contributing to the illusion that a ship or plane simply vanished. Furthermore, the region is home to some of the deepest oceanic trenches in the world, including the Puerto Rico Trench, which plunges to depths of over 27,000 feet. A sunken vessel that settles on this abyssal plain is effectively lost to us forever. In the quest to explain the unexplainable, some theories have ventured into the realm of the truly extraordinary, proposing causes that sound like they were lifted from a science fiction novel. One of the most popular of these fringe scientific theories involves massive eruptions of methane gas from the seabed. The hypothesis suggests that large deposits of frozen methane hydrates on the ocean floor could suddenly destabilize and erupt, creating a massive bubble of gas that dramatically lowers the density of the water above it. A ship sailing into this frothy, aerated water would instantly lose buoyancy and sink like a stone, leaving no time for a distress call. While geologically plausible in theory, there is no direct evidence linking such an event to any specific disappearance in the Bermuda Triangle. Magnetic anomalies so powerful they can tear a plane apart, gateways to other dimensions, the ever-popular theory of alien abduction. These ideas are compelling because they offer a grand, dramatic solution to the puzzle. They suggest that humanity is at the mercy of forces far beyond our understanding or control. However, these theories all share a common flaw: a complete lack of verifiable proof. No strange energy fields have ever been reliably measured, no dimensional portals have been found, no alien spacecraft have been caught in the act of collecting human vessels. To bring the conversation back to solid ground, it is useful to look at systematic analyses of the available data. A significant blow to the myth came from publications like Popular Mechanics, which conducted a thorough investigation into the legend. Their researchers delved into official records, accident reports, historical accounts. What they discovered was not a pattern of inexplicable disappearances, but a pattern of exaggeration, misinformation, and a consistent failure to report the mundane explanations. In the end, the jury of science returns a clear and unanimous verdict. The Bermuda Triangle, as a supernatural zone of disappearance, does not exist. The case is built not on shadowy conjecture, but on a mountain of observable facts. The legend is a compelling piece of modern folklore, a ghost story for the technological age, but it withers under the bright light of scrutiny. The incidents that form the backbone of the myth are not evidence of paranormal activity, but rather a collection of tragedies, each with its own set of unfortunate but understandable circumstances. The sea has always been a dangerous place. This particular stretch presents a formidable combination of natural challenges that have claimed ships and planes for centuries. The power of the myth lies not in its truthfulness, but in its ability to captivate our imagination. Attributing their fate to aliens or dimensional portals obscures real-world lessons. Improving weather forecasting, advancing navigational technology, enhancing safety protocols, ensuring better training for pilots and sailors. Respect for the ocean does not require belief in sea monsters or phantom forces. True respect comes from understanding its immense power and complexity. The same potential for human error that leads to disaster can be mitigated through better preparation and technology. The calm, factual takeaway: